Day 3, presented by Alienware and Toomey. It's getting down to that do or die time.
It really is, and look, we've got that APAC bias. It's APAC day, attack all around now coming into the lobby. A team that have had a very rough time. The desk have touched on it a lot, getting caught up in hot drops for the longest time. That should be a thing of the past. Who knows? They might surprise us, though. It is attack all around. They do kind of catch you off guard a lot of the time. Only 4 opportunities to make it through. It's tight now for these teams that are coming in today. It's really their final opportunity, not just to make it through to this weekly final, but to really make it through to the grand final overall, because most of these teams are really going to be lacking those grand final points.
Yeah, definitely. That's the biggest takeaway, right? Is tying it all together with the weekly finals for the teams that have not participated at all. I mean, they're already in a very dire situation, but you've got a handful of teams that have already at least played one of the weekly finals that are still in this lobby, that if they can at least secure a win within the final 4 games, get back to the weekly finals, well, then that's 2 out of 3. That puts them in a much, much better position moving forward. But yeah, for the likes of FaZe, for the likes of Sonics, for instance, even if they can find a game in these final 4 games, it will still be utterly difficult. AAA, of course, not only do they make their way into the lobby, they apparently make their way to Jumasera and right onto TSM.
Ooh.
Little steal of the Murado. For
Thinking like E36 were going to be centering that one, but clearly not. So these Lacob teams really happy about what they're currently doing. Gen.G as well. We should point out they sent this dip like last phase, the beginning of last phase, without really any read on the zone, but it's worked out perfectly. It is the strong position, but they're certainly defending it well.
Wow.
As PIO finds the 2K, Asura and Esther finish off the job, and just like that, TSM FTX down in 16th. Gen.G, I was about to say, look, they took this position really early, which I thought was questionable. It's not a great position. Attack all around do start to make their push finally. They left that rotate really late, and they're probably going to get punished accordingly. You can already see Petrichor Road taking shots from the west as Code Marco is just absolutely posted up to eliminate Gloom's Gems. Follows suit
oh my
as
God.
well as Metralius is there to finish off the job. Jay is with the trade though. Code Marco forces Metralius, switches over to the mini, and it's the hipfire that's able to connect. Only one player now remains from attack all around. It's going to be Jayers, but they still need to get themselves the revive if BBL want to remain in it. Petrichor Road, well, they hear this and they are more than happy to get involved. Jayers, even as the solo, punishing onto Metralius, and now in come Petrichor Road with only Smash left standing.
Yeah, and needs to stick this revive as well, so at least he can have 2 players up, is able to do so. So Mert back up, but obviously doesn't have that much health, but fortunately both of them able to confirm 8's left immediately as he was looking to push in. Petrichor Road, I think, maybe just amazed by this car pile up, and they are struggling to actually push in. Sure, Mert does get knocked down, but the damage has already been done to Pero. They're only just down to 1 player remaining. They elected to push in on this, try to get involved. They heard the commotion, and they have absolutely been punished for it. Sure, finally BBL go out, but it's only Mings left standing.
Smash, living up to his name, absolutely smashed Pero there. Big damage, big kills coming out, but they still remain with 2 players left up. So unfortunate for BBL there, as can he even get the revive? There's so many vehicles, it's going to be a tricky one to try and pull off. 17 Gaming, though, they open up a fight of their own. Ents getting 1 down. As Tiksu gets caught, Lil Ghost has to throw down a Molotov and ends up catching himself alongside Rustamar. So you win some, you lose some, I think it's fair to say is mine. Well, for Sonics, he's going to lose it as 3007 finishes off the job. Down they go, out in 14th position.
Yeah, and suddenly now down to 13 teams. It's also kicking off phase 5. FaZe Clan with the circle of choice here, holding that position. And you have to then go back and wonder, how many times has this been the case for FaZe, though, Chunks, where they end up getting good circles, but they never have 4 players alive. They're never in a position where they've got all 4 players. They're always down to 3 or 2. And sure, they've done good things at times throughout PGC with 3 or 2 players, not more than that duo run, but this is, again, a position where they've got a good circle down over the entire team. Now, for Ants, they've been feeling the pressure, not just this game, but the last 2 games. Hello? Rustamar gets the easiest kill onto Lil Ghost. Where's your little headphones, mate?
clearly just wasn't aware of that one. Unfortunate there for him, but Rustamar going to be more than happy to sponge it out. Tiksu does go down on the rotate, so Ents now extremely split. They have to try and get both players together. Buram, though, a whole lot less split. They are consolidated. They've sent Kanaxi out to try and scout a position, but Edie is so preoccupied onto MCG that they aren't able to follow. Pero also on the rotate, but thankfully not going to crash into him, as Kanaxi now from that side position is going to be able to punish. Evil Leak goes down as McMoo, the solo for Game Home, sorry, one of the 3 players of Game Home, just laying prone, using the smokes for every bit of cover as vehicles just blow up around him.
Another one to follow in. McMoo dancing around with 3007. That one also just goes, oh, I was going to say too far, but it ended up landing onto Disgusting. Just a bit of damage as Diggory does finally go out to show. 17 Gaming, obviously they've had their casualties for it, but I do feel like in the end, they do win that fight against Ents. They were winning it a little cleaner earlier on, but did throw away an opportunity to maybe come out of Lycob in a better state. So in the end, both teams not really getting anything from that stalemate from earlier. Not a good position, though, for a lot of these teams, Chung. So many open areas, open positions. We're seeing the nades become a big factor, and this is where teams are just basically expending all of their smokes.
Yeah, Kanaxi doing everything he can to try and hold out MCG, but Summer's actually going to find a really nice opening there onto Edie. Spams through the smoke and nearly finds the kill to go with it. 1 or 2 more bullets would have been the deciding factor, as GNL finally have to now make their way out of La Cabria, as the flashbangs nades all going to be coming out in the attempt to finish it off Game Home. It's only McMoo who has been eliminated right now, but these teams going to have to keep pushing as the zone pulls down to the south. Disgusting does end up falling, but Sylphie immediately there for the trade. Tossie eliminated as well. So Game Home slowly but surely putting damage onto GNL. Heaven is the final player left as flashbangs come out for a little bit of support. 3007 trying to get the heal as McMoo just crawls back. Sylphie nowhere to be found seemingly, as it's all on 3007. Looks out for Heaven, but in the end from above the support comes through and immediately Show is there to punish.
Down to 10 teams remaining. No one even close to pushing onto Game Home there, so they were able to take that fight for as clean as possible. Now it's time for FaZe to finally get involved, but 8C, Gustav immediately, both of them have succumbed to the pressure, and there's not a whole lot of it either. I mean, it's just a GEX and a ball below them. Underarm nade for Fuzzface, literally just peeks over, sees them. This should be an easy one, at least finishes off Zendan. SSR still down. It's basically a 1 versus 1. Savior can go for the revival to SSR, vice versa as well. Fuzzface going for 1 up above. Now that one should be perfect. No, it just falls short. So close to maybe
so
landing onto
close.
Fuzzface.
Oh, and look at this. Gen.G, they hear this. They're going to try and roll in from behind as well, realizing that GEX are down at the bottom of this dip. Finally, Fuzzface lands the nade and finishes off Savior, but FaZe Clan are going to be more than aware. I can't help but wonder right now, is 8C rocking a barrel with no sights on it? That is a brutal weapon to try and use.
Yeah, just quickly, though, for FaZe getting pushed on by SSG behind them. So the longer they stay in this position, and at that moment, you know, you got Gustav down, Gen.G below them. SSG should be able to just clean up from behind. This is an easy one for Keenan and Oddless. Yes, they're just the duo. The only downside here is actually Astra and PIO for Gen.G have got a nice little angle onto SSG. The nades, of course, very difficult to kind of throw those up and over and hope that they're landing right where Fuzzface is, because like they're just going to generally fly over his face for the most part. But FaZe, again, they've had good circles, they've had good positions, just not able to capitalize. And Oddless now finds himself in the same position Fuzzface was in just a minute ago.
It's a really nice underhand there from Oldless, but look at this position from 8C. He's pulled off the flank. SSG have no idea. Now they will, as Oldless will be falling. The frag grenade coming up over the top. Keenan still watching out from the side. Will open up. Nice spray, but it's PIO, in fact, who's there to finish off the job. The MK in the hands of PIO, I would be very nervous as Gen.G start to get more and more aggressive. Ooh. What was that onto 3007? Game Home caught in a split, and the chance of the res pretty much non-existent now.
Yeah, and a nice 2-2 split at the late game as well for Gen.G. 25 minutes gone, but they're still happy to split both sides, control that entire northern side as MCG push over the rib, and they clear Game Home quick as that. 6 teams remain. P, of course, got the kill onto 3007, but still, when you look at this map, when you look at that split for Gen.G, Asta, PO, they can kind of see over towards 8C and Fuzzface anyway, so in Onyx, Azura, they could take that fight to 2v2 anyway, but you've still got that backup behind you, the nades flying over, and as soon as 8C and Fuzzface push forward up over this ridge, they are going to be exposed to all 4 members of Gen.G.
They're going to try and move up, but it's a tough one here. Obviously, FaZe Clan having the high ground, it will leave these two players from Gen.G just forced to play the bottom side of the step. Obviously, PIO is there for a little bit of cover, so is Esther, but it almost looks like Gen.G want to try and close this up. They want to finish off the fight pretty soon, as Inox will get caught out in the open. The headshot actually lands. 80 there to do some damage, but he isn't able to confirm the kill. Esther and PIO still a little bit further back, as I think Gen.G realize now they are in trouble. Asura with the nade tries to get it up over the top, but it's not going to be enough, and it looks like that was cooked, so it looks like he should be flushing himself out. Not quite, though. 80 goes for the repeak, but realizes he is down to one of a duo. So needs to be careful of the Molotov just not landing the way he hoped.
That was his only Molotov as well, and he's got no frag grenades. That was to at least finish off Azura without having to re-peek it. You can see PIO's position. Oh, Evil Lee standing still, gets caught by Jay. It's the solo for AAA. Awful for MCG, who had the 3 players. Azura gets taken down by 80 anyway. The Molotov was meant to do the job, but he peeks back over one more time. Gen.G now down to 3 players. Honestly, full credit to 80. He has been amazing for FaZe in this situation. They've had to make some tough plays. He's got 5 kills. He is the reason why they're still standing, and maybe could have a very slight chance at winning it. A very unlikely, though, especially now that these nades from Gen.G can connect onto this position. Big damage. The second one just short of getting the knock onto Fuzzface, though.
Nice spray coming out there from Lingdu to finish up the job. Onto Jayers, as MCG going to quickly follow suit after attack all around. PIO does open up onto 80, but they've lost Asura and now down to just a 3-man. They should have an idea of where Fuzzface is going to be, but they're burning through a lot of util to try and take down this solo player now. I'm not sure whether that is the smartest play to go with. Petrichor Road do get finished off, as PIO yet again putting in work with that MK. He has the high ground. He wants to look down onto Fuzzface. Esther, though, is there to land some big damage, but can't finish off the spray. Out comes the mini, and it should be one bullet. Bye-bye FaZe, as they're out in 3rd position. E36 with the man advantage, but Gen.G, they've got PIO with an MK.
And to Force have not made it to a weekly finals yet. Gen.G, of course, they made it in week 1, missed out in week 2, but a chance to get back there and maybe consolidate some points to get into that top 12. Big opportunity. PIO gets caught first. 21 health remaining. Starlord forced away. He wants to get that knock. Knows that he got the damage, but up close. And Onyx gets the opening knock onto Amina. Good quick trade, though, from Pure Boy. Now it's absolutely important that they can get Esther as well. Put PIO on an island by himself and then just take the 1v3. They can't allow PIO to get involved, and Indigo just shuts him down. It's a 1 versus 3 with Esther as the solo for Gen.G. Enter Force moments away from their first time in the weekly finals. 1 versus 2, though. Esther can re-peek over the ridgeline. There's a flank to his right-hand side. That's Starlord. That might just catch him off guard. That should be the nail in the coffin here for Gen.G. Good reposition, and it's job done for E36. They will be heading to the weekly finals.
Indigo there to finish off the job as E36, cool, calm, collected. They realized pretty much as soon as PIO was knocked, it was their game to lose. They had the man advantage going into it. Sure, Gen.G, they're going to be a little bit disheartened by the loss, but they put in work, they fragged out, and they punished so many squads, and the sense of relief now on the faces of E36. Really impressive to see them make it through to that weekly final and finally get themselves a chance to prove themselves at the